Hi, everybody. I'm Chuck Baumgartner. I'm the Director of Transportation for the Southwestern School District. I'm in charge of all the buses. Today I'm going to read from The Adventures of the South Pole Pig. I'm going to read Chapter 6. Flora scampered past the junk heap and around the corner of the barn. Bright sunshine made her blink. The green grass under her hooves felt springy and alive. The warmth on her back made her want to squeal and kick up her back legs. But she was pretty sure that would attract attention, maybe even a dog. Flora quickly glanced around, but she was alone. A gravel road led out of the barn, but where it went, Flora couldn't see. Off to one side of the road was a cornfield, and off to the other side was more grass. There were fences all over, but none could keep her from going where she wanted to go. Without another thought, she trotted down the road, her hoofs clicking and clacking on the gravel. Was she still too loud? What happened to piglets that escaped and got caught? She didn't like thinking about that. Flora wiggled under the fence into the cornfield. It was cool and quiet beneath the leaves. Only green light made it through in this secret place. It filled her with energy. She dashed off between the two rows of corn. She turned sharply and zigzagged between the stalks. Whee! The tall plants shivered as she bumped them. The green flying on either side, she zigzagged back the other way. The world of a cornfield seemed large and small at the same time. Flora could hardly see 3 feet in front of her, yet she knew the field went on and on. Flora plowed to a stop. Why was she buzzing around in circles like a barnyard fly? Lucky Luna could do it any day she wanted, but this might be Flora's only chance for an adventure. As she stood still, she heard dogs barking, louder and closer than ever before. She tipped her head to listen. Then the sound was in front of her. She quieted her heart and headed straight for it. The sound stopped. She put her snout up to sniff. An explorer had to use all her senses to find her way in unfamiliar territory. But the only scent that filled Flora's nose was a green and corny smell. She kept going. The cornfield ended at a road. This one was bigger than the road near the barn. Flora took one cautious step into the sunshine. "Hike!" shouted someone. Flora tucked herself back into the cornfield. "Pull, Oscar, pull," the voice said. "Show these young pups how to make it fly." Pulling? This she had to see. Flora poked her nose back out. A team of animals, 5 in all, was coming up the road. They were hooked together on either side with a rope. In a stream of black, white, yellow, and brown fur, the animals flowed forward, pulling steadily against the harnesses at their shoulders. So this must be dogs. "Come on, Oscar, pull," the voice said. Flora gazed at the long snouts and flowing tails. She watched as the many-colored faces drew near. Pink tongues flapped and rolled over sharp white teeth. Ears tripped back, but it was the eyes that stopped Flora's heart. Bright, determined, proud. Flora wondered if her eyes would ever look like that. At the end of the line was a man riding a cart with 4 wheels that clattered and bounced over the gravel. Dark hair covered his face, and he could look fierce. "Hike!" The man cracked the whip, and the dogs pressed on with new energy. There was a dog in the lead. His ears picked up slightly as his eyes rested on Flora. He seemed to be taking in that she was out of place, but he didn't break his stride. The other dogs in the line glanced at her. Flora's knees trembled. She knew that she should run away, but she was mesmerized. There was something in the teamwork, in the purpose, and the effort that made it hard for her to breathe. Would her brothers ever consider this being a team? The man caught sight of her. "Whoa!" he shouted and pulled back on a lever that made the wheels stop moving. The dogs halted. "Dang nabbit, every time we get started on strength training, something happens. Why are you out of your pen, little piggy? Somebody needs to learn you a lesson." Although the dogs had pulled in silence, now they stamped and whined and barked. They clearly didn't like being stopped. Only the lead dog was calm, his eyes still on Flora, and she could see that they were soft blue and with a black pupil in the middle. This must be Oscar. She watched as his tongue pulsed in and out with each breath. She stuck her tongue out and tried it, but it felt strange. What was it supposed to do for her? The man stepped off the cart and slowly approached Flora. "This is the only time I'll find you out of your pen. Guaranteed." He stretched out his hands. "Come here, piggy." "Uh-oh, this looks like trouble." Flora thought fast and skirted away sideways, away out of his reach, just as the man lunged down to grab her. "Confound it," he yelled. "Don't make me set these dogs on you." She dashed around the other side of the team and caught sight of their sharp teeth. Loose dogs would be more than she could handle. Plan or no plan, then why was she still standing near them? Something made her want to stay close. These dogs were determined, excited, but not angry or mean. They were eager to get back to their job. What Flora really wanted to do was ask them some question. She hustled closer and stopped. Two dogs barked and yanked sideways at their harness. The cart shifted and the man walked over to steady it. The barkers kept up the noise. Only Oscar stood still, moving just his head to watch Flora as she took a few steps back. No one seemed to be in a talking mood. The man came around the cart. "Stop running in circles, you little barnyard bonehead." He stepped towards her, hands out. Flora skipped out of reach, and this time she went further up the road. "Fine." The man stalked back to the cart. "I'll catch you later." He grabbed up the dog's lines and the cart and started to roll. "Hike!" he shouted. Oscar and the others jumped into their harnesses. They pushed and pulled the cart, and cart gained speed. Wow! Flora's heart raced. The whole operation barreled in her direction. Flora began to run alongside. She stuck out her tongue and lunged into each step as if she were pulling against her own harness. "Hike, piggy!" the man shouted. Flora glanced over her shoulder. The man's angry frown was replaced by a grin. "So you're a runner. Come on, you little breakout artist. Keep up. It's training time." The encouraging words went right to her head. What a feeling it would be to run with a team. She imagined herself at the head of the long pack of dogs. Flora surged again. She concentrated on putting not just speed but power into each stride. Flora threw her head down and skirted as fast as she could. But the dogs were much faster. She soon was running next to the cart. "Hike!" the man shouted down to her. Flora didn't want to give up, but she was winded now. Her legs weren't as strong as her determination. She fell behind and had to breathe in their dust. Up ahead, the cart stopped, and the man set the lever against the wheels. The dogs barked again. Flora threw herself on the ground on the patch of grass at the side of the road, heaving and grasping. "You've got spirit, don't you?" the man asked, walking over to her. This time, she had no energy to run away. Soon she felt strong fingers rub the top of her head behind her ears. Flora had never felt anything so delicious. The man bent his face close, and she tried to reach up and lick it. Troublemaker, said the man. Cute, but a big troublemaker. Flora didn't even struggle when he carried her to the cart. Hike, the man shouted. A moment later, Flora was moving faster than she ever had. The wind rushing past her ears felt wonderful. Unfortunately, the team was heading back towards the pen. Stop! Turn around! She wanted to shout. She tried to wiggle free. Don't end my adventure this soon. Wow, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it? Thank you for enjoying Chapter 6 with me.